Hey howdy hey, how is everybody doing, and welcome back to Disney Daily. Mary Poppins is a stern but fair nanny who is practically perfect in every way. She can speak to animals, has the gift of flight, and sings beautifully. She can turn the ordinary into extraordinary in the blink of an eye, no matter the situation. Her magic is quite impressive, but there isn't much explained in the movie in regards to the source of her magic. So today we take a closer look at understanding Mary's powers. Now, in the 9th chapter of the first book, it states that all babies are born with magic, and gradually over time, children aren't able to maintain that power. They can not only talk to animals, but understand the winds. The whole idea is that babies are in communication with the natural world, and as they grow, they lose these powers before the time that they can formulate a lasting memory. Now, I understand that in the movie, they didn't incorporate this idea, so between the book and the movie, it gets a bit confusing. But for the sake of this video, it is important to include what the book says to understand that she never gained power, she simply just didn't lose them. Now, you have to wonder, did anyone besides Mary have any magical abilities? Well, both in the books and the films, Mary has family members that have their own supernatural and eccentric nature, such as her uncle Albert, for instance. However, they don't possess any of the exact powers that Mary has. In the books, she is referred to as the Great Exception because she never lost her powers, unlike her peers. As far as I know from the research I have done, she is the only one of her kind. Now that we understand a little bit more about her past as a child, let's talk about an older and more mature Mary. More specifically, let's focus on the Mary Poppins in the 1964 movie. From what I have stated before, we now know that children are born with magic, but more specifically, how to understand nature. However, it seems Mary's powers only progressed and became more advanced with additional skills. For example, it is clear when Mary just floats out of the sky that she isn't quite a regular human. So what do we classify her as? I, like many others, have the following questions. Is she just a powerful magician? Is she a guardian angel sent to look after Michael and Jane? Is she some type of witch? Or is she something else entirely? Well, in today's video, I tried to get down to the bottom of these questions. Now, this first theory is very popular on the internet, and it basically just states that she is a really impressive magician. And while there are a lot of supporting pieces to that claim, what convinced me otherwise was her ability to speak to animals. That isn't a typical quality that magicians possess. So I leave it to you all. What do you think about this first theory? Another common theory is that she is a guardian angel. Many believe that her sitting on top of the clouds in the introduction symbolizes that she is clearly not from this world and has passed on. But more than that, she is some sort of angelic being sent to look out and care for the two needy children at the Banks' residence. The children were in need of guidance, so many believe that Mary Poppins is sent down to Earth to fulfill her good deed and help the kids. And while that is also a good explanation, there is one giant problem. If that is the case, then how is everyone able to see her? When I think of a guardian angel, I think of a more ghostly figure or presence, a being that most people cannot see, one that perhaps can only be seen by those in need. However, in the movie, everyone can see Mary, from Bert to Michael and Jane's parents to the chimney sweepers, so this led me to believe she couldn't possibly be a guardian angel. But again, I'll leave it to you all. What do you think? Next up is my personal favorite theory, and it is the best explanation in my opinion. Mary Poppins is a witch. I know what you are all thinking, but witches are bad and evil. Well, actually, that is a common misconception. There are in fact good and bad witches, just like there are good and bad humans. Case in point, Glinda. To me, she is a good witch due to her devotion and dedication to the Banks children's well-being. Witches, like magicians, are known for magic, which she clearly demonstrates, from her ability to fly to her peculiar nature. Additionally, her ageless exterior can easily be explained. I personally think she just uses a spell to keep herself looking young. But what really led me to this conclusion was two scenes in particular. The first is the Enchanted Bag when Mary first arrives at the Banks' house. The bag is bottomless, holding unorthodox items such as a hat stand, mirror, large plant, and even a lamp. All things that could never fit in a bag without the help of magic. Witches' bags are capable of anything, and this scene reminded me of Agatha Cromwell's bag in Halloween Town, whose bag had a mind of its own. The second scene that made me believe she was a witch was during Spoonful of Sugar. In the song, she snaps her fingers and the room begins to tidy itself up, from the clothes being folded to the bed being made. As everyone knows, witches don't bother themselves with chores when they can just use magic. It makes life much more easy and simple. But again, I leave it to you all. What do you you think. Now, this last theory, I'm not going to go into a huge explanation, but I am going to throw it out there because it is a commonly held belief that Mary Poppins is a time traveler. Many believe that she is from a future timeline and she travels back intermittently to check in on the Bankses and others. Well, that concludes this video, but my question for you all is which one of these theories is your favorite? And if you have your own theory that I didn't state, please leave that in the comments down below. As always, thanks for being my guest here at Disney Daily. Until next time.